It's really, I promise, it's really, really important, even if it's uncomfortable, to look like you're getting less likes, but have real ones that your sales team can work through and to build an organic following than it is to appear like it's going well, but in the back, it's completely fake. I'm super, super grateful to be in front of all of you today. If you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen, but that was the coolest intro ever. So hopefully I can live up to the hype that Chris has presented for me, but I'm super excited and really grateful. So my big thing for you all today is I like to be efficient. PowerPoints cannot necessarily be the most exciting things, but at the end result, if you can make more money in the next 30 or 40 minutes with what Isaiah and I will be teaching on, I think everyone will be pretty happy. So that's going to be my goal today, is after listening to me, you can make more money with a high quality team of appointment setters that doesn't cost you a bunch of money, that can make you more money, doesn't give you a headache, because appointment setting can be a headache. I'm sure you all have tried to hire appointment setters or heard about appointment setting. It's a pain in the butt. We're going to fix that today. Does that sound good? Ooh. So as Chris mentioned, he did a fantastic job introducing me, and I'm super grateful for that. But here's picture of me and Ed after we did a presentation, after we did a big conference. Here's another person that I was able to work with. We did $50,000 with him with one Instagram story sequence and an appointment setter. So his name is Los. He's based out of Orlando. Super grateful for him. Super grateful for Ed to both be in my life. And what's really nice about working with these larger influencers is you can take what they're learning, what they're doing, what they're implementing, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on social media with ads, getting paid $100,000 to speak. You can see what the best people are doing, and you can implement it to any level of business. Whether you don't have a client, whether you have hundreds of clients, whatever scale you're doing at business, you can always look to the greats and take great pieces of wisdom from them and learn from them. So you can learn from anyone. And then I have my sales manager on this call today. He's my business partner as well. His name is Isaiah. He's the man when it comes to truly appointment setting, crafting winning scripts, managing a fantastic team, and tracking what your team is doing. Tracking is nitty gritty, but if you do it correctly, makes everyone's life easier. So he's going to be doing a piece of this presentation as well. So super grateful to have him here. He's done over $1 million worth of cash collected outbound sets. So at the start of his day, no one knows who he is. At the end of the day, he's booked an appointment selling $10,000 and $15,000 packages. So right off the bat, I want to give you 5 immediate game changers. If you're like, hey, I don't like this Collin kid, I'm going to hop off the call now. You can at least take these five pieces that can help your business, which is number 1, it's not who you hire, but it's who you keep. Hiring can be expensive. And if you're trying to hire great talent, but you keep churning talent, that's exhausting, especially if you have a fantastic business, you're doing 6, 7, 8, 9 figures. You don't want to lose great talent. So it's not who you're hiring, it's who you're keeping. And that's a common thing in the setting business, is hiring tens and tens of people, but keeping no one. So hire good people and keep them. Number 2, it's better to have less team members and then keep them than it is to have lots of team members and then for all of them to leave you. So find the best people and keep the best people and have a small and lean team. Number 3, hire slow, fire fast. Really common one. Unfortunately, I didn't invent that saying, but I'm gladly going to steal it. If you can really make sure that when you bring someone onto your team that you can invest into them and keep them from a long amount of time, that's a simple theme that I'll be continuing to hound today, is keeping those team members and making them happy. Your life's going to be a lot easier. Your team's going to be a lot better, and they're going to continue to perform for months and months and months and years. Number 4, always be training. Just as you all are on this call, graciously giving me your time, and I'm going to do my best to pour into you to make sure that you all can win at the end of this call and make more money. Always train your team. Always invest in them to make sure that they're doing better and investing into yourself. Super important. Number 5, know your setter's numbers. If you hop on a call with your setters, like, hey, John, how many messages have you sent? And they say, oh, Collin, I've sent a lot of messages. You don't know what that means. So you need to know that you're setting simple KPIs, and they can say on those calls with you, hey, Collin, I sent 100 outbound messages, 50 follow-up messages. I had this many people reply, so on and so forth. Your life will be better, and you can track your numbers just like you track everything else in life. I'm sure we have biohackers who wear whoops on here. You always track your numbers for your sleep. Why would you not track your numbers in your business? Pretty simple, right? And at the end of this, I'll give you our custom tracking sheet that we created that you all can use and implement to your business. And then let's get into the 3 big things we're going to talk about today, which is 1, acquiring your talent. Number 2, making sure your talent performs, and then number 3, tracking. So with acquiring talent, a simple way to know if your business is doing well from an outside perspective is, are people actively DMing you to try to join your team? So this is a big one that we see when people will spend $5,000 to $7,000 on one appointment setter from these placement agencies of, oh, I would love to hire a setter. How much are they? Are they $5,000, $7,000? They get this person. This person ends up being a flop because this person has no idea who you are. They don't know about the price points of your offer. They don't know the compensation structure that you have. It might not be an incentivizing compensation structure. So it's most important, if you can start to get people to send you DMs, you're going to have people who want to stick around and who are invested into you and your business. Collin, how do you do that? So if you're posting content right now on social, that should get you more attention, because great setters, talented setters, they can smell great offers. So we have people actively DMing. They'll go and send Isaiah a DM because they know he's great at setting, and they know that he can take them from setting a couple deals a month to consistently setting over 100 appointments and making clients $50,000 to $100,000 a month, which is going to yield them a fantastic commission, which will be anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 a month, depending if it's 3% or 7%. But great setters can smell great offers. So as painful as this is, if people aren't sending you a DM right now, know that, okay, there could be something that I could be doing better. Because if people aren't looking to work with you, offering to work for free, that means they're doing it with your competition, or they're flat out not interested in you. So please, I really beg you to post content, because if people on the outside don't think you're doing well, on the inside, you're probably not. So it's important, post content, make it look super exciting to work within your organization, because you're going to get the best people. If you look at Hermosi, Pineda, even Los, Ed Milet, the amount of people that will send Ed, I'll work for you for free. It makes sure that the team that you have within your organization, if they know people will offer to work for you for free, they're going to try a lot harder because they know someone wants your position, right? Really simple. Make it competitive. Make people know it's like, hey, you know, you're not really performing, and 30 people a week offer to work for me for free. Why would you not be competing to be the best? So it's important to make a competitive environment, still a healthy one, but talented setters will smell great offers. The key of this little slide right here is post content so that great setters know, hey, he would be legit to work with, or she would be legit to work with. And then after that, a big issue that we see within organizations that we hop into, like even the large ones that do multiple 7, even 8 figures, is they'll promise, you'll make $10,000 per month. And as you'll notice, most appointment setters are between the age of maybe 16 to 24 years old. They're interested in sales, but they're not closers yet. They maybe have a stutter, maybe they're introverted, and that's okay, right? We all have our individual roles within business. And for them, business owners will promise them way more than what's realistic. We all know it's true. When you find a great talent, it's like, hey, you'll make 20,000 a month, you'll make 10,000 a month. And the newer people, it's easy to take advantage of them, and it happens within the setting space or even within the closing space. The OTE is going to be 12K. But in reality, when they realize, oh, this person isn't getting the leads I was promised, the compensation structure isn't incentivizing, this person neglects me, we don't have team calls, they're not tracking my numbers, they're not investing into me, and I was completely bamboozled and catfished. This is week 1, this is week 2, 3, and 4. They're just going to end up to be another person who tried appointment setting and they hate their life. They don't want to work for you again. And then it hurts your reputation. It's really simple. It's better to underpromise new hires than it is to overpromise to get a great piece of talent. And then for them, this guy's a complete bust, or she's a complete bust. So let's say we like to do 4,000 a month is really, really simple because it's a good American income, right? Like if you work at McDonald's, if you work a normal job, you make $4,000 or $5,000 a month. That's fantastic. It's better to promise that and get legitimate people than it is to promise $8,000 and $10,000 a month. If that makes sense, can you just drop a 1 in the chat on what it would look like to keep it simple, have simple promised earnings so that people understand if I work for him or her, I can make a nice American income, but I don't have to make $10,000 a month. Like Iman, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to trash Iman, but a lot of these people in the online space say that you can make. Perfect. So we got some ones in the chat. See, it's a pretty simple concept, but as crazy as it is, we've turned down selling a course because we know people won't buy a course unless they believe they can make 10 and 20,000 a month, which is ridiculous. Like, we all know how much each of us make. For random newbies to make 10 and 20,000 a month is kind of ridiculous. Simple principles that we like to use to keep our team happy. You can use these principles within any industry, from home service to online, is telling your people you appreciate them, especially salespeople, especially VAs. I know we have people hiring VAs within here, and that's fantastic. And being able to let them know, I appreciate you. John, I'm super grateful for you. Chris, I appreciate you for letting me present here. That's going to have them to be like, wow, he actually cares about me. And as silly as it is I'm sure you all see in the online space, a lot of well-known influencers pretend to be the greatest people ever. And then behind the scenes, it ends up like, wow, this person was kind of a wiener to me. We don't want to do that. And again, they're going to be like, I don't need to work for this guy, especially if I'm making $1,000 a month. So be kind to your team, show your love to them, and verbally express it, and express it in a public setting. Because people want to know that they're validated and they're appreciated. Because if times get tough, but they know that you're really there for them, they'll ride through the mud for you. Another thing with sales, as you all know, is you don't mess with people's livelihoods. If someone's underperforming, look into their life. John, how is your sleep doing? Do you have personal things going on within your life? Have you been sick? What's happening? How can I help you? How can I truly help you as a person? You're going to have loyal team members. You're going to have team members that go well above and beyond because you care. Caring is so underestimated within online businesses right now. I truly believe that. And then if someone is really not going to make the intended earnings that you promised them, let them know that. Like, hey, John, I project you're going to make $4,000 this month. You'll make about $1,200. How can we fix this together? How many outbound messages are you sending? What is the script that you're using? Is it the offer? Am I not giving you enough lead magnets? Am I not posting enough content? Try not to mess with people's livelihoods. And the last thing is, if someone's not doing well, communicate it, and communicate it early and nip it in the bud. So if something bad is happening, let them know, try to fix it, give them a shot, give them a second chance if they're not doing well. And Isaiah will talk about that with a person who's approaching $2 million worth of outbound sets, on how we fix some stuff in his personal life to completely get him on track and get him results in October. And then have 2 to 3 really great setters. You don't need a staff of 30 and 40 people. This is so common, and a lot of people will yell at you like, hey, Sean, you need to have 30 appointment setters so that you can go and get new customers. Why do you need 30 people? Maybe 5 of them will actually perform. And then of that, maybe 3 will stay. So how about I just look for the best people? Let's lay out 6 and 12 months together. Where do you want to be 6 and 12 months from now? Where does your health and wellness want to be? How can I invest into you? How can I pour into you? How can I show appreciation for you and make sure at the end of the month you still get paid? Better to have a few people who can make the most amount of money than have a lot of people make a little bit of money. If that makes sense, please drop a 1 in the chat. Have less people, but have them make more money. Because as you know, the best closers close all the deals anyways, where the bottom ones, they just kill your leads. And then I think we're cruising through this, which is good, nice and efficient. And then second thing is making more money and performing. So you guys want your businesses to perform. You want your sales team and your setters to perform. So let's get into how we do that. And this short little section, we're going to talk about attention. So this is what people pay me, well over, at this point, over $1 million just to get attention on social media. It's made me personally, off my own pages, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's crashed websites. It works, right? And then we're going to talk about winning scripts. So right now, if you're using fake traffic on any platform, I beg you from the bottom of my heart, please stop. Because if an appointment setter or a salesperson looks at your page, you're getting 30,000 likes, every single post between 30 to 32,000, and it looks suspicious, but they're like, I'll give them a shot. They hop into your organization. They say, John, I thought there's going to be all of these leads. You told me there's going to be all of these leads. And they see all the traffic's fake. Your credibility is done. They're going to tell other setters about it. They're going to tell their friends about it. And they're going to start gossiping within the online community of, no, that offer is actually fake. He doesn't actually have any clout. He doesn't have any real followers. It's really, I promise, it's really, really important, even if it's uncomfortable, to look like you're getting less likes, but have real ones that your sales team can work through and to build an organic following than it is to appear like it's going well, but in the back, it's completely fake. So it's better to have a real organic platform than to fluff it up, your setters to be really unhappy, and it for not to generate you any money. You're losing money by spending money on fake followers and fake traffic. I know it's a common thing in the online space, but I promise you it's not worth it. Does that make sense to everyone? Really clear? Because again, they're going to think they're hopping into a Lambo, but they're hopping into a Vespa. Vespas are cool. I'd rather have a Lambo personally. A really simple thing, this would be an entire different presentation, but for those of you on Instagram, if you go to any meme page, let's say you get a millionaire mentor, you can send them a direct message, say, hi, millionaire mentor, his name's Jason. I'm curious how much a promotion would cost. What would that look like? He's going to reply with the price. You can create an ad. I'm sure all of you have seen hundreds of Instagram ads where it says, here's how this person is making $100,000 per month with this one secret. This could be appointment setting. It could be ATMs. It could be wholesale. It could be e-commerce, Amazon automation. You've seen the ads, I promise. You tell people, hey, go follow me or go send me a DM with a keyword. This will truly result in hundreds of DMs, my apologies. And that will result into appointments. This person right here, I blurred his name, but has multiple hundreds of thousands of followers right now. Even at 30,000 followers, he was doing about $21,000 a month, and he was spending no more than $2,000 per month on ads. So you can go to meme pages, you can ask them, hi, I would like to buy a promotion. You create an ad, they post the ad, people go to your page, they send you a DM, and your appointment setter can take the process from there. That's one way of getting traffic. Another one, this is Andy Elliott. You can go to any influencer in your space. You can go to 5 of them, look at their previous 20 posts. From there, look at 3 to 5 of their best performing videos or pieces of content, and you can recreate those and put them in your language. Like, I promise you, that's what the best people are doing. That's right there, saved you $30,000 a month, is going to the top people in your space, looking at their past 20 posts, taking the best 3 to 5 of them, and then recreating them. So simple, I promise it works. It sounds so simple that some people might not do it, but I promise you it works. Take what is working. A golden goose right now, I'm sure all of you have seen it. Here's my top 3 books. I've probably done 3 million views alone on telling people, here's top 3 books, top 3 podcasts, top 3 movies. It's so simple, but it gets you traction on your page, gets you eyeballs, and eyeballs make you money. If you don't have anyone looking at what you're doing, you're not doing something right. And then, for example, I got my dad's podcast is number 10 on Apple right now. Chris was a guest. Woo woo. So if you even if you have a podcast, or you're on TikTok, or you're on LinkedIn, you can take people and send them to Instagram. So you can have all your traffic go to Instagram, and people can send you a keyword, for example, podcast, or for example, FlowChat, or for example, ebook. All your traffic can go to Instagram, where you can use a tool called ManyChat. You use a tool called FlowChat and manage all of your conversations. You can manage all of your conversations, just send them to Instagram. It's so simple. It's so simple. You don't have to send them to different landing pages, different websites, to other platforms. You can send them all to Instagram. Really, really simple. So you don't have to just use Instagram for getting attention, but you can manage all of the attention on Instagram. ManyChat, FlowChat, any tool that you like to use that's best for you, I recommend ManyChat and FlowChat, because you can use different AIs. That's where the money is going to be made. Now we're going to have Isaiah. He's going to talk about winning scripts, because the huge thing is, I have these appointment setters. What do they say? So from here, I'm going to have Isaiah get into it. So Isaiah, if you would like to share your screen, the floor is yours, my friend.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let me open it up real quick. Slideshow. Cool. Can everyone see my screen? Start there.
Yes,
amazing.
Sir.
So to continue on with what Collin was just talking about, it being winning scripts, we're going to get a little more into the finer details of actual conversing in the DMs and whatever messaging platform you're using. And so if you guys have found it, I would love to know. If you send it my way, I haven't come across such a thing as a winning script, but there are components that will increase your conversions tenfold. So let's dive into these. So component number one, from my experience and what I've found, is creating context and familiarity within your first message. So it's super important that the beginning of your script includes this context and familiarity as well as credibility. The lead needs to know who you are, why you're reaching out, and what it is that they actually can receive from you, right? So the key is doing this in a way that you're not giving them all of, the intention you have of the conversation, because a lot of times if you become too salesy, if you let them know, hey, I do this, this, and this right out the door, they're going to slam the door in your face. So it's about looking at their profile. A lot of times what I love to do that helped me generate a lot of success with my openers was looking at the profile, finding something on their profile that I could relate with, right? Did they post a picture of them at their lake house in the summer? Oh, I go to a lake house myself. I love going to lake. Oh, bro, super cool photo, man. Where's that lake located, right? Like finding something within their profile that you can relate with that isn't directly related to the sales conversation, right? Because you want to get your foot in the door into having conversation with them. And so that's a great way to do it. Another great way is looking at their mutual followers, right? If you have any mutual followers, making a comment about, let's say, for example, you're both following Hermosi. You can say, oh, bro, notice you follow Hermosi, man. I love his stuff. What have you resonated most with him, right? And then they'll realize, oh, it's more of a connection that this guy is trying to create more than a sales conversation. And if you can get into the beginning of a conversation with, again, context and familiarity as well, letting them know that it's more of a connection you're seeking, a more of a relationship that you're trying to start, then you're going to have a lot more success. You're going to get into more conversations that are ultimately going to lead you to allowing to get more appointments. Okay, so component number one, context and familiarity. Does that make sense to everyone? Great, amazing. We'll keep going here. So component number two, qualify and find inefficiencies your services solve. Okay, so you must communicate in a way that you are able to draw out and extract from the conversation the pain points that that prospect, that lead is experiencing, right? You want to find inefficiencies that your business, your services actually solves. If there's no pain, there's no need for a solution, right? So it's pain and inefficiency that moves deals forward. Okay, so it's very crucial that in the conversation, after you've built some rapport, you've connected with them on a real humane level, that we're asking qualifying questions. We're asking questions that are probing at the solution you provide, right? So that is going to be super crucial to moving the conversation along and getting to the point of helping them realize that they really do have a problem that you can help solve, right? You have a solution to the pain points they're experiencing. And so those questions for each of your businesses are going to look different. But it's really just poking at, right? It's understanding what you provide and what you solve, and then asking questions that basically draw out those problems that the people are experiencing. Component number three, this is going to be sharing the better way / your process / the solution as a case study. And in the end, this equals curiosity. So let me explain what I mean here. So once you're able to draw out the pain points and inefficiencies, it's important that you educate and not go into too much detail about how or what the process and the way you go about creating the transformation actually looks like. You want to skim the surface from a 90,000-foot view of what it is you actually do, right? That the lead, that there is a more efficient and pain-free way of doing things. So you want to let them know that, hey, man, from the conversation so far we've had, it seems that you're experiencing some of these things. Have you tried this? Have you tried this process? Have you looked into maybe implementing this, right? And it's not explaining how they're going to go about implementing these things or how the actual process evolves within the service that you provide, but it's just using headlines to make them realize, oh, there actually is a better way, right? And when you're doing this and you're not actually going into the how and the what's and the actual finite details, it's going to generate a lot of curiosity, because they're going to be like, man, you're saying literally the solution to the problem that I have. How can I actually learn more about this? Like, where do I get this value? How do I get this implemented in my business? How can you provide the solution to me? So in that, in you simply providing value, and helping them understand how you're going to provide your service at it from a 90,000 foot viewpoint is going to generate a lot of curiosity. And component number four, after you've generated curiosity about how you're going about providing solution, you're going to put them into your calendar sequence, and get them ultimately booked for a call. Now, the calendar sequence, the biggest thing that I've seen from this is that you want to be active. You want the setter, your setter, whoever's appointment setting, you want them to be active and on the ball with the conversations while the prospect is live and active in their social media. If the setter is taking 10 to 15 minutes to reply to them asking to send the calendar over, and they're taking their time and they're not on it, then you're going to miss the gap and you're going to have more calendars sent and less booked appointments. The most success that I had was around 95% booking rate from the amount of calendars I would send. And that's because I would make sure that they were live and active and we were actually having a live conversation to get them booked in. And there's a little sequence that I go through where I'll ask them, regardless of the fact that I know I'm sending them the calendar, I'll say, hey, when would you be available for a booked, or when would you be available to have a quick conversation, right? They would say the time. They'd have to go into their actual mind and envision having a call with me and my team in their schedule. So they have to go, okay, Tuesday I'm busy, Wednesday, okay, Thursday should work. Awesome. So after I've gotten that commitment from them already going into their schedule, into their mental framework, I then say, awesome, can I just send through my calendar? Then they say yes. I get my second step of commitment towards me. And then they book in and I send some kind of urgency message afterwards, after I sent the calendar, of like, hey, I'll just be waiting on this end so that I can double check and confirm it for you. And then from there, you can send any pre-call videos, anything that adds more value to the conversation and gets them excited for the call. Is there any questions about any of the four components we just went over? We can also go through any at the end as well. So we'll keep moving here. Next is going to, sweet. So next is going to be tracking. Okay. Tracking is a huge part of appointment setting. It's a huge part of ensuring a team actually generates results, real revenue. So we like to use for tracking, we set up an automation within Slack, and it's called workflow. If you go to Slack, you go to settings, you go to workflow builders, you can actually build out all types of different automations and messages that get sent to individual actual members of your team. You can have it sent automatically to channels. It's kind of like Zapier, but it's in-house within Slack. It's a lot cleaner. I really prefer it over Zapier. And you can create exactly like this, little messages like, appointment setting team, it's time to submit your end of day reports. Click your name, fill out this, and submit the report that works with their name. So they go and pick their form. They'd send a check mark into the chat once they've submitted the report. So we found, obviously, accountability is huge, right? It's crucial and allows for the team to, from an actual data point, be held accountable. So tracking is super important, and we use workflow builders in Slack. Let me go through the next. This is another screenshot of kind of the back end when you're creating it. This is one that I had set up, sent to not a channel, but to an individual DM on Slack. So it was, hey, appointment setter, it's time to submit your end of day report. Click and fill out reporting for each offer you worked on today. So we have some setters that are working on multiple offers. And so we'll include all the different links that they have to complete an end of day report for. And then again, it's making sure that they send a check mark to our team channel after they submitted it so that we can ensure they actually did the reporting. Tracking sheet. So this one here, as you can see, there's this little screenshot. So these are the key points of data that we track, that I love to track. This helps me know how to help an appointment setter, how to hold them accountable, and where they can improve, because everything I need to know really is right here. Obviously, we can go into diving into conversations and we can work through the nuances of the psychology that they're implementing in conversation. But this is the data that allows me to know whether an appointment setter is being successful within their role or not. So we get them to submit the total number of openers sent per day, total number of responses from the opener, we automatically then have the opener reply percent from the total amount of openers sent generated. If there's VSLs, they'll put that number in there, total number of follow-ups, booking links sent, booked appointments, and then total number of booked calls. And so as you can see, this setter went from struggling to set 3+ appointments per day to consistently booking on average 6 to 7+ appointments per day. He actually booked 11 yesterday on November 1st by simply helping him understand the importance of tracking and working through from on my end. I saw all his data. I was able to see, okay, all the different numbers and realizing, okay, you're sending all these openers. You had 500 openers sent and like 90 replies. You need to improve your opening rate. So then we know, okay, it's clearly something in his first message that he's sending that is not working or resonating with his audience. We need to improve that so we can get more conversation. Or maybe, oh, you've sent 10 follow-ups and you have it's affecting your conversational rate as well. So clearly you need to increase your follow-ups so that we can get into more conversations or finish off more conversations. Another key point of data that I like to look at as well is how many calendars sent compared to how many bookings actually made, right? And so that is a huge point I like to work with our setters, is because when you're sending the calendar, ensuring that you're working through that sequence of getting multiple yeses in a row, getting commitment from them so that they actually end up booking and following through. So this is all just to say that data is super important to Collin and I. We love tracking it, and through single-handedly tracking data, we're able to really help appointment setters increase their performance and ultimately help business owners collect more cash.